Primal Chaos. Hey guys, Primal Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. I was just doing another Postmodern Jukebox video, which may or may not be up already yet. I'm not sure how I'm going to post these. And I was scrolling through afterwards going, I wonder what else I've missed, because that one was Wayne Brady and I had no idea it even existed. And as I was scrolling through, I found Don't Speak. And I remember from like the last video I did, so many people commented that I needed to check this one out. So I'm here right now. Why not do it? Let's have a look. I mean, Haley Reinhart, I'm only really familiar with her from the reactions I've done of these guys. So, but I know what I saw blew my mind. She's phenomenally talented. She has so much nuance and a spectacular voice. And she just gets the feel. She understands it. She knows exactly what to do to really nuance this sort of stuff. And so I'd love to hear this. No, Don't Speak. I was working in music retail when that song was released back in the 90s. And it was a phenomenal hit. It was really big. It was very different. No doubt we're kind of this, in a world of new metal, no doubt we're this bastion of pop ska, which was kind of like, everything they were doing was antithetical to what was popular and what was current at the time. And yet it just hit right. And everybody loved them. They were really, really good. They were great in the pop circles. People would go watch them on rock tours and things like that as well. They could fit into just about anywhere because they just were just talented. They were really good. They had a good groove and a great singer and a great front woman. So anyway, let's see how they do with this one. Don't Speak, no doubt, 60s style cover featuring Haley Reinhart. It's going to be interesting to hear them do 60s because usually it's kind of like 40s, 30s, that sort of thing. So here we go.
You and me, we used to be together every day, together, always.
She reminds me a lot of Tori Amos.
Really feel that I'm losing my best friend. Can't believe this could be me.
Oh, that low note. Wow.
As though you're letting go, and if it's real, well, I don't want to know.
Oh, that's nice.
Don't speak, I know
Oh,
just what you're saying.
come on. It's
Stop explaining.
sultry.
Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
God, it's a great mix too, man. Wow. She's amazing, man. Hang on. Sorry. I hate to do this. Now, before anyone asks me about stopping during the song, I don't want to stop it. I want to listen to the whole thing through. But there's this thing in reaction videos called fair use, where legally we're allowed to use the videos for our reactions, provided that we alter them to a significant degree so that it doesn't become a replacement for you watching the original video on the original channel. And, stopping and stuff, it's helpful because I can get ideas out, talk about what I want to talk about. But I know that it's frustrating for some people, and occasionally I get comments. Most people are very understanding. But man, trust me, it breaks my heart too. This is so good. I always jump back though, so I get the lead ups and stuff again. But really, I just wanted to hear, in fact, I'm going to jump back a little bit further because the string arrangement is absolutely beautiful. But Haley, that grit she gets when she slides up to that note, it just, I don't know where that comes from. It's just an amazing tone. The little glockenspiel is just spot on. That was very big in swing, actually. Ultra lounge sort of stuff.
Well, they can be inviting, but some are all together mighty frightening.
Oh.
As we die, both you and
It's back there, right?
with my head in my hands, I sit and cry.
Hey, welcome back.
Don't speak, I know just what you're saying. So please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
wow. Baritone sax? He's just a man of many talents. Oh, listen to that guitar tone. Actually, sorry, I'm going to jump back because I want to hear that guitar tone from the beginning for the solo. Sorry. What a great sound, man. Come on.
Don't speak. I know what you're saying. Softly stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. No, don't speak.
Oh.
I know what you're thinking. Softly stop explaining. I know you're good. I know you're good. I know you're real good. I know what you're thinking. Softly stop explaining. Don't speak. Don't speak. Don't speak.
What an arrangement, man. Come on. Oh, that's clever. That's really clever.
Hush, hush, darling, you and me, I can see is dying, aren't
Come on. That, again, everything about that was just pitch perfect. The pushing at the end, the staging, the beautifully talented saxophonist slash percussionist, just coming in every once in a while, being very dapper about it. It was so great. But let's talk about Hayley. She's stunning because she's so engaging, and she's engaging because she never breaks character. You know, as much as she's not, there's a certain amount of acting involved in selling a vocal like this, right? And so she's just capable of being in that moment and being that artist that you want to see on screen, you know. There's a difference between standing in the studio and just singing a vocal and just feeling it and getting into it, and there's a difference between that and projecting this nebulous form of a performer on stage that we sort of all aspire to be like and to witness the greatness of that artist, right? So she's got this way about her that I wonder if maybe, I mean, I never watched her in Idol or whatever, but maybe she either did well in that show because she's capable of this, or it's a skill she picked up, because when you're on something like that show, you don't win by singing great. You win by affecting the audience, and you affect the audience by engaging with them and connecting them to the material and yourself and making them feel like they're a part of the performance. And that's exactly what she's doing here. And I wonder if that's a skill she's always had, or if it's something that she picked up along the way through those sort of avenues of being on performance television, you know. Very interesting, very interesting. The arrangement was stunning, as always. These guys are always amazing. The string arrangement was beautiful as well. I liked how they did the subtle vocal harmonies in amongst the way that they sort of orchestrated all the parts. How often do you see a harp player if they're not in an orchestra? It's very interesting to put a harp player in there. And you know what I was thinking during the performance? I'm like, you never hear mediocre harp players. I think it's because there aren't that many. How many people do you know who own a harp, right? And so if you're the local harp player, you got to be the best harp player, you know, because anytime somebody needs a harp player, you got to hang. You got to be able to drag your harp in there and do a one-take performance, because there's no other option. So I was really impressed, not only with her playing and her, the way she fit in with the overall sort of orchestration and stuff like that, but the concept of putting a harp in there, this whole performance immediately took me back to a CD from the 90s that I was really in love with, or a collection of CDs called Ultra Lounge. And I don't think they're available anymore, but they used to have really cool, cover designs and all that sort of stuff. And they were kind of like, some of them were sort of like dance interpretations of stuff. Some of them were traditional music from the 60s that was swinging 60s kind of ultra modern in the 60s. You know, that aesthetic plastic sort of weird tangential sort of shaped furniture and just crazy weird stuff, right? But, you know, they'd put in a bunch of like Dean Martin songs and you know, all of these sort of artists that were kind of swingy and stuff. I used to love the CD called Cha Cha d'Amour, but they'd occasionally have these little snippets of stuff that they found on a record somewhere of like, you know, narrative stuff and interesting. There's one about how to play the bongos. And then they go on this tutorial about how to play the bongos that they'd clearly taken from something in the 60s and just put it in the CD. But the glockenspiel or whatever instrument that is, I always get them mixed up. It was definitely part of the sound of that era, because you'd hear it like think about it when you imagine a cartoon character in the 60s running along on its tippy toes. That's that sound, you know. And so they'd also put that into swing music and things like that. There's also like the harp as well, like that dreamy sort of harp sort of sound was a big part of it from my understanding of the genre, as placed through the prism of that collection of records. Ultra Lounge, if it's still around, you should check it out it might still be on Spotify and stuff like that. But they were really fun to listen to. You know, they'd have songs on there like Go for Mambo, you know, hey, things like that. You know, and so they were in the 90s as a teenager growing up and having no real connection to the 60s. They were so much fun to listen to. And so I'm seeing elements of that cherry picked from that genre into this. That's what gives it that 60s feel, other than the way Hayley's dressed and the way everybody's, the set's sort of designed and things like that. It's really, it just feels authentic in a modern way. And that's really cool. Anyway, I think I've harped on, pun intended, long enough. And, yeah, I'm trying to think if I had anything else I want to talk about. The guitar tone was awesome. Obviously, the rest of the musicians are always pitch perfect and spot on, so there's not much else to say there. But I'm really, really falling in love with Hayley's voice, that sort of grit. And the fact that she has sort of like two different types of grit that she can have in her voice. She's got that sort of pulled back, sort of kind of more raspy sound. But then she can do that pushed sort of distortion that's more reminiscent of someone like Christina Aguilera. She has that sort of thing. I can't physically do it, but it's like that. It's more gravelly sort of sound, you know, as opposed to a sort of raspiness. Forgive me. You get the idea. And yeah, that's it. She's fantastic. She's a phenomenal performer, as is everybody there on stage. And yeah, this was very exciting. Thanks again. If you feel like I've brightened your day at all, feel free to support the channel. Just buy me a coffee. I'll leave a link in the description. You know, like, share, follow, subscribe. Anyone you think you might enjoy this, make sure you share it with them. And also subscribe, because I'll be doing more of this stuff in the future. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate you sticking around this long. Stay primal, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hey guys, this video was made possible by Enchroma. 1 in 6 guys and 1 in 200 women are colorblind, and if that happens to be you, there's something you can do about it. Click the link in the description, it'll take you to Enchroma's website where you can get a free eye test. And while you're there, maybe pick up some corrective lenses. They've got styles to suit everybody and a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you got really nothing to lose. Tell them Primal Chaos sent you.